Welcome back, guys. I'm behind the waterfall in the room that's going to become our top base for our branch mine. And I have Wolfie with me, and I want to begin to get started on creating the way down. And there are a couple of things we're going to need to note. We want to create a very fast way down there and then a very fast way back up. And there are many different ways you could do this. In my first world, I had actually spawned next to a huge mountain. So I decided to take advantage of that mountain. So I dug a hole like this into the mountain and then just built a set of stairs that ran all the way down to bedrock. And then later on down the line, I had put in a train system, track system in there as a quick way of coming in and out. But then I had discovered a much faster way. And it's kind of wild. It's basically a hole that you walk into and fall to what you might think was your death. And then a neat little trick with water slows you down at the very end to make sure that you don't even take a half a heart's damage. To get started, you actually need to build a 2x2 hole. Okay, so this is what we're going to get started for. Now what I've done is I've left 2 boxes on all sides because I've come up with a hybrid way of doing the next piece. We then need a way to come back up very fast. But in order to do that, we need to get some bearings. So I'm going to see if I can step back out here. And it's looking like it's getting to be dark. But it's enough so that we can take a look at the sky. You see that cloud? And how it's moving off to the left? Turn this way. And now that cloud looks like it's moving away from us. Clouds always move north. So that's a neat way of figuring out where north is. Okay? Alright, so let's come back in. And we'll take a look at the next piece. There's a weird system in Minecraft as far as how certain pieces of physics work. They have this system called the Southwest Rule, and it comes into play for a whole bunch of different things, like how red wire works, how tracks work, and even how water and lava work. And in order to get it to work, you need to be aware of your cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. Now, when you're underground, like we are here, you're not just going to stare up at the ceiling and figure out where the clouds are, right? So you need a way to figure out where north, south, east, and west is. Well, here's a trick using a block that most people find very easily. It's a piece of dirt. So I'm just going to come over under one of these torches. I'm going to plop a piece of dirt right here. Now if you take a look at the top surface of the dirt, do you notice this gray dot right here? It's the only gray dot that touches an edge. Do you see that? Some come close, but that's the only one that touches an edge. That's west. So no matter where I go and what direction I am facing, I plop it down, and do you notice? It's pointing towards the back wall. And back over to this one. It's pointing towards the back wall. Okay, let's say I point straight out this way. See? It's still pointing towards the back wall. Okay? So we're going to be able to use this to begin to help us. We want to make a water ladder. And in order to create a water ladder, you want to construct it so when it's finished, to use the water ladder, you're actually facing it from either the west or the south. So if that gray dot says that way is left, I would actually have to be right here to face the water ladder. Okay? Now that's a possibility. Now if we come back over here, if that's west, down here towards me would be south. So if I was going to face south, I would want to be over here. Now because of the arrangement of my room, that's actually exactly where I would want to be. Because down here I'm going to have my chests and my furnaces and the way out. So I would love to have a water ladder that exited out this way. Okay, so now that we know where that's supposed to be, we can look at our hole. And Wolfie, I'm going to just kind of move you into the corner here for a minute. Thank you. Alright, so now we've got our drop hole. So our water ladder wants to face out this way. We want the water to head in that direction. Or I'm sorry, head back this way so that we're facing it. And we could put it over here, or we could put it over here. I like over here because it's a little farther away from the door. We want to face this way. That's south. And then to get ready for this water ladder we want to put in, we're going to put a notch here. We're going to skip this block. We're going to put a notch here. Okay? Like I said, this is a hybrid. A lot of people have come up with these systems before. And I decided I wanted to do a couple things. I wanted to combine the two and see if I could use a space that was a lot smaller than some of the things I had seen. The closest idea to mine that I have seen is a person that made a water ladder over here, like this, and then it wasn't directly connected to this. And as I got down to bedrock, I figured out what the problem was in combining these two because of the water you use at the bottom. But I was able to find a neat way past that problem. So I'll show that to you when we're ready to continue. Alright, so what else can we do with what we've got right now? Earlier I had made this endless water spring. So I just want to grab a bucket, and I'm going to come over to this one hole, and I'm going to fill it with water. Now, it's kind of wild. That is all the water we are going to need for the water ladder. Now I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to fill both of my buckets, because down at the bottom, we're going to need 2 buckets of water. Preferably 4, but we can get away with 2 to create what they call a water break. It's what'll slow you down and stop you from dying when you get down there. Okay? Alright, now we've got a slight problem. If we take a look at our resources, we are lacking a few things. We've got enough pickaxes, but we're definitely going to need more wood and more cobble. The cobble we don't have to worry about because we're going to dig that out when we make our hole. But we're going to need more wood so that we can have sticks. 4 pickaxes is not going to be enough, even 5, for doing what we need to do. So we're going to need to bring along sticks so that on the fly we can create more pickaxes as needed. The other thing we're going to need is a lot more torches, because as you start heading down, it gets dark. And there's a trick I use tied into the water ladder that makes this thing light up pretty nice. But you're going to need a lot more torches. I would say probably at least 32. Okay, I'm going to shoot for 40 just to be on the safe side. And then the piece I don't have here are ladders. And ladders are made out of sticks, a lot of sticks. And again, I'm going to shoot for 32 to 40 ladders. Okay? And then the last thing we're going to need are signs. And we're actually going to need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's going to be 6 signs. Maybe we can get away with 5. But I'm going to try to bring 6 signs with me. Okay? So before we get started on this pit, we need to get those items. I've also got some stuff in here I don't need, the hose, some of these, I may keep the shovels, but some of this excess pork and stuff like this. So I think I'll also take enough wood so that I can begin to make some chests that I can put down there and kind of offload some of this stuff I won't need. And then I should be good to go. Okay, so the next portion of this video, and probably the remainder of this video, depending on how the timing works, will be a speed up portion as I go off and gather some of those resources I'm going to need. Okay, I'm going to leave Wolfie here so he's out of my way, and I'm going to go and start to get those supplies. Okay, so we'll see you in a little while.